Hey, what's going on, everybody? Zach here with Brand Wound Pickups, and today we're going to be checking out this vintage Gibson T-Top pickup. Really neat. But first, I would like to apologize for my voice, or rather lack thereof. I've been pretty sick the last week or two, and I've been having vocal problems, and I can't really sing anymore, and so we haven't been putting videos out. But bear with me. I wanted to show you guys this because it's really cool. So, it is a 1975 Gibson T-Top. As you can see, it's been modified a little bit. But the really neat thing about this pickup is it came from the original owner. So a lot of times in these videos, we talk about, what happened to this thing? Why is it like this? With this one, we know exactly why it's like this. Because it came with a note, which I will attempt to read. It says, I have a pickup that I removed from a 1975 Les Paul Custom. I bought the guitar new. Again, that's really cool. I spent 4 years in Okinawa. Also cool. While I was there, I had what I perceived as a power or response problem with the pickup. Being young and even dumber than I am now, I removed the pickup and replaced it with a Carvin M22, which sounds great, which I believe is that pickup with a bunch of pole pieces and stuff. I think I've worked on them before. The Carvin is still installed in the guitar. Before I removed the pickup, I did a couple of very stupid things. At least he admits it. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I've seen worse. Based on a couple articles that I read, I ran the screws all the way down and cut off any protrusions on the bottom, which we can see here. The pickup was never really satisfactory, so I'm wondering what it would take to get it back to spec, or maybe a touch hotter, and replace the screws. Okay, that's so cool. So number one, original owner, it spent time in Japan, even cooler, which you can actually tell just by the aging here. I mean, that's either a lot of sweat or a very humid tropical climate. In fact, if we pull the cover off here very carefully, I suspect we will see, very careful here, the cover was already detached, by the way. Yeah. You could tell that's spent some time either underwater or in a very tropical climate. And sometimes you could just tell that with pickup. You could look at a pickup and kind of get an idea. And like say, sweat's a factor too, but get an idea of where it's from. There's a similar thing in watches, like vintage watches. You can have what they call tropical dials. Like this dial is black. But if this watch was in Japan at this time, it might have like kind of a brownish sort of patina color to it. And they call that a tropical dial. I would call this a tropical pickup just because of the way that it aged. You could see all the green on it. It's high humidity for a prolonged period of time. Okay, so number one, we have to fix the screws. They're cut off. Normally, what I would do in that case is, remove them carefully. We'll talk about that. And just age some new ones and put it back in here. However, I do believe in my drawer of many things over there, I think I actually have an original set of gold pole pieces that look kind of similar to this. So I will put those in if I have them. Thanks to the dude for letting me make this video. We'll throw in some original screws for him. As far as the power problem, let's see if it works. This is going to be a long day. It does work. I'm going to get it without my finger on it here. Let's give you an accurate reading. We are getting 7.3. So it does work. Let's see. It is magnetized. 7.3 is on the low end for one of these, but it's not at all with out of range. It's pretty common to see them 7.2 to 7.6. So what could our power problem be? Maybe the neck pickup in that guitar was hotter than this, or maybe the magnet was a little stronger. It's hard to say. I will go through and make sure everything's in working order. But it could just be that this pickup was quieter. It's very possible. If everything is as it's supposed to be, I hesitate to do anything other than just fix the pole piece screws, just because of the fact that it's a very valuable pickup. But at this point, I am going to take it out of the pickup rings very carefully and give it a once over. And then we're going to figure out what we need to do. When I take these screws out, I'm going to have to be very careful. I don't want to mess up the base plate, so I'm going to have to maybe kind of smooth that out a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. I'll give you guys an update here in a little bit. Okay guys, I got a quick update here. I did get the pole piece screws out. That was good, they came out nice and clean. We didn't mess up the threads on the base plate at all. There they are, they're cut off. What I did is I went in with a razor blade on the edges and I just kind of deburred everything and smoothed it out so it wouldn't tear up the threads in there, and that seemed to work really good. And I also wanted to show, because I assume if this guy lets me do this, he's going to watch the video. You're not the only one that has done this before. In my drawer, I had another pickup where somebody had cut off the things on the end. Looked like this was a nickel one. Kind of cool. So then I kind of looked into what's the power problem here. Why does it not, maybe sound as strong as it could? And I didn't really find anything, I have to be honest. The pickup functions as it should. I did take the magnet out, however. Here it is. It's kind of rusty. I went ahead and charged this. I put it in my machine and I recharged it in case maybe it was a little weak, possibly from the factory. It's hard to say. But it seems like a decent magnet. I'll go ahead and put that back in now. There we go. Tighten the screws down. So this pickup, other than the pole pieces, is actually in good working order. The reading is nice and strong. I think the issue here is probably that Les Paul Custom. The neck pickup on that guitar must have been either a little hotter, maybe the same output. I'm thinking the neck probably just overpowered the bridge, and that's very common with these. If you get a pickup, say this is 7.3, and the neck is like 7.8, that neck is going to be quite a bit louder. And that's a reason why I actually balance my T-tops. I wind the bridges a little bit hotter. So that perceived drop in volume isn't the pickup necessarily being broken. It's just an imbalance. And the wiring can also be a factor there. I'm guessing that's the issue here, and that's why you replaced it with that carbon. So there's a couple things I need to talk to the owner about. I want to put this pickup back to original condition. I don't really want to wind it hotter because it'll hurt the value. But he's the original owner of the pickup. If he wants me to do it, I'll do it. And also, I wanted to say that I did find some pole pieces. I thought I had gold ones, guys, but I didn't. I had some really rusty chrome ones. But at a glance, from the side, or from the top at least, they kind of look the same. So these are original from the T-top era. So I think I'll put these in for now. And if he wants me to do age some gold ones for him, I can do that also. Yeah, it's really a neat pickup. Like I said, it's great to hear the history on these. We could talk T-top history for a brief minute while I have one here. So this T-top is a 1975. We are right after the patent number decal. In 74, we start seeing the number, there you go, stamped into the base plate. And the 74 base plates were actually slightly different too. That's getting pretty nerdy. At this era also, we have 2 maple spacers rather than 1. Later on, these become plastic. And the lead wire also changes around this time. On the old PAFs and stuff, you had your hole over here. They would put the base plate up through there, or put the lead wire up through there, and then solder it over here, and all of your connections would be on this side. But to save a little money, presumably, they just started grounding the braided wire right here and moved the connections over here to save that much braided wire. I don't know, I guess it worked. But it's also kind of makes these a pain to work on too. I'm not right now going to tear into this pickup any further. I don't really feel it's necessary. Like I said, I have to contact the owner. See, what I'm going to suggest is I'm just going to put this pickup back to original, maybe solder the cover on if he wants to, and just leave it alone. He can try it with the new charged magnet if he wants. But But what I'm going to suggest is if he wants a more correct pickup in that guitar than the Carvin that sounds kind of more like what he's after, we'll make a replica. Because if you guys didn't know, I do have my own T-top bobbins. See, they have the T on them and everything. I can make him a more powerful T-top that will look correct, as well as kind of sound more correct, but be more balanced with that neck pickup. And if he wants to, I can even use this original cover on a reproduction pickup. Like I said, that's just kind of my idea. That's what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to put these pole pieces in, show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll probably call it a day on this one unless I get some more information. Okay, guys, so it's a little bit later in the day now. I did hear from the owner. We know what we're going to do. I actually have the pickup complete and ready to go here. I can see we got the pole pieces back in, and they really do match pretty well for being chrome originally. We got the cover soldered on, and of course, if you look at the bottom, you could tell that these were chrome and not nickel at some point, but that's okay. I mean, he still has the originals. Just put that in the case with it, just a little short. He does want to leave this pickup original, which is what I suggested. We're not going to mess with it. He could just put it in the case if he's not going to use it. I believe he's still using the Carvin pickup. I did bring up making him a replica, like a replica T-top, but hotter and kind of more of the way he wants it to sound. So we'll see if he goes for that. Just out of curiosity, I did actually age a cover, or I started to age a cover to see if I can make one kind of match a little bit. It's not done yet. You can kind of see the pattern of the gold is there. There we go. It needs a little bit more work if I was going to actually try to make it match this, but it was kind of fun. Ooh, sunlight, that's bright. And even if he doesn't buy the replica, somebody will just get a cool aged cover in their pickups. Yeah. So I have some cool stuff. Oh my gosh, that's blinding. Hold on a second. Gotta fix that. There we go. Cool information. First of all, I got a picture of the guy with the guitar, and it's in like a new old picture. I'll throw it up now. It's really cool. The guitar is white, which is awesome. Of course, it looks kind of creamish now, but yeah. White 70s custom, one of my favorite guitars. I love them. But the guy was stationed in Okinawa in Japan, as I found out, as a Marine. Thank you for your service. I figured that was probably the case, but that's what he said. And then also, he was friends with a band that apparently was really popular back then in Japan called, I'm going to butcher it, Murasaki? Close enough? I don't know. They seem to be a pretty big popular rock band back in the day in the 70s in Japan. I'm going to look up some of their stuff when I get home. But yeah, there you guys have it. Original owner T-top, ready to go back. We didn't do a whole lot to this. We talked a little bit of T-top history, got to see some cool stuff, got to hear a cool story, so hopefully that makes up for it. Maybe we'll make that replica pickup, maybe we won't. I'll put down in the comments below if I do. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. My voice is already more gone than it already was, so I'm going to call it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy. We'll see you next time.